Everyone agrees that jiu-jitsu is great for self-defense. The debate that people have, however, is which is better suited for self-defense, gi or no gi. If you want my honest opinion, they both have a place. However, the one thing that gi has is the ability to utilize grips, both offensively and defensively. So for today's video, I brought in Aaron Jannetti of Knife Control Concepts to go over how we can utilize material grips offensively in a self-defense situation.
So let's talk about using this stuff offensively, and we want to keep it as simple as possible, okay?
Yeah. So let's go short sleeve.
Yeah, let's go short sleeve
options.
first. Weird shirt chokes and all that type of stuff. Fun as hell, super cool. Eli, my friend Eli Knight's actually got, I think he's got like an entire video of it. Yeah, which are really good on it. So go check that stuff out. If I'm doing this for self-defense right out of the gate, I'm trying to keep this as gross motor as possible so that it fits different circumstances. Like we'll talk weapons, not weapons, all that type of stuff. So the first thing I want to learn anytime I get into anything is like, well, how do I grip? If I'm reaching out and grabbing with these three fingers, and no one does that, but I'm just pointing out these three fingers. If I'm going to grab full grip like this, you're not going to get a lot out of it. When we do judo, we do jiu-jitsu, we start learning what? The most powerful grip is usually the bottom three fingers, and then we're rolling the material a little bit. From a power standpoint, there's pistol grips and a bunch of other stuff. But as a general rule of thumb, I'm getting the material, I'm using the bottom three fingers as my primaries. I'm using all five, the bottom three are the primary, and I'm rolling to make a fist in a grip because that makes real good. You know, we talk about it with this, but with the sleeve and gi, if I have this, then I'm rolling, I'm cupping, I'm making a little pocket out of the end of the sleeve. Well, it doesn't change when I'm working you with a t-shirt.
Right.
If I'm gonna go and we're here and like, let's say, you know, we're fighting, you start hitting me and I'm just reaching out, I wanna think the same thing. Well, I made contact simply by pressing on you, but if I want that grip, I'm gonna pull with the three fingers and make a fist, right? So this is giving me a good structure with this. Even on a loose t-shirt, I can create and bundle up enough tension to start to influence your body movement, right? So that's piece number one, is like, how do we grip? We usually say slap and grab, boom, boom, right, and pull. I make a fist, I get good things. From there, there's a couple of things. Depending on what I'm trying to do, I can use this to break your posture down. I can use this to frame and push, right? I can use this to maintain and hold you into position. All those type of things are there. What's nice about the grip and what changes it from this and this and this is that I have less chance of slipping when I do those things. So it gives me something to hold on to.
If I get out of it, you can adjust
right away. So if I'm pushing and posting this way and you jockey your shoulder underneath or your head, yeah, if you want to jockey your head, go for it. Then I just pull the grips across the back of your neck. But I have a grip that's a consistent hold that I can influence.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing, right? Now, when I teach people, and I want to teach it as, you know, I say a lot, like I do a lot of binary stuff, zeros and ones. This and then this,
right?
And I learned how to work those two together. Then I'm thinking of a couple of things. The first one being, am I trying to stand you up or pull you down, right? That's piece number one. From that, the farther I am from the head, the harder it is going to be to do that. So I can posture you by pushing on your shoulder and framing on your shoulder, and I can break you down by pulling on your shoulder, but I'm going to have a higher success rate if I'm posturing you by pushing through your chin.
Right.
And when you go to combat that, if I snap you by pulling this over your head. So the closer I get to the head, easier it's going to be to break posture and change posture upwards. If I get it farther away, then I just have to find different angles to do it. So I want people to understand that. So again, just ones and zeros. Am I pushing you away or pulling you? How far am I from the head? If I can get to the chin, that's going to make my life a lot better. That already right out of the gate, like you start mangling somebody with their shirt, pulling them, pushing them, and posting them around.
I can't do anything.
It's tough,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then that opens up opportunities for me to do all the other stuff if I want to access weapons and all that type of stuff. So that's a really good place for me to be at. That's the basics. Right? Grab onto clothing and start ragdolling them up, down, side to side. Ones and zeros, right? Now, I can use those to start getting around posts. Let's say you're posting on me, whether you're grabbing my shirt or not, and I'm just having trouble getting around you. Well, normally it's because if I move this direction, you move that direction. I move this direction, you move that direction. So if I can't get around you either direction, I need to halt your movement or accelerate your movement, right? So what I mean by that is I can use the shirt, same exact grip. I can halt your elbow where it's at and move around the elbow, okay? Or I can accelerate your forward movement to get around that elbow, right? I'm actually doing both at the same time, but you get the idea. Now I can use a grip to be able to do that.
Right.
Even in a t-shirt, I can do that on the tricep, right? Or I can do that around the back. Right? I'm using that grip to pull you by while I'm moving the opposite direction. That's super freaking powerful, right? So boom, to pull. And then again, instead of you being able to go away from me, so I go to pull, if I were to let my grip go, you could turn back into me.
Right.
I just keep that pressure. So So now, as I pull you around, I'm still pulling you. Right? And so I can hang weight on things that I can't do normally. No gi, or, you know, if I get, you know, the dude that takes his shirt off, which he should. By the way, first tip in self-defense in a fight, take your shirt off.
Less
right?
clothing, the harder it is.
Yeah, so then that's our next basics. It's like, okay, cool. I can use this to mess with your posture. I can use this to pull you to the ground. Now I can start using my sleeve or the grips to start getting around good, strong posts that are very common, right? I can start using these to start to take this over your head, and now I can take your vision away. Same exact idea. I get to here, but instead of trying to pull this over your shoulder to snap you down, I start pulling it over your head, right? And now I can drive your head to the floor, or if you try to stand back up, I start pushing back into your face, right? And now I'm messing with your posture, I'm messing with your vision. And again, it's nothing fancy. If it doesn't go over your head, right? I get this grip and I go to pull and I want it over your head and it doesn't go over your head, then I'm right back to where I was before. I start guiding your face in different positions and postures by just pushing on the jawline, snapping forward, snapping backwards. So it becomes very simple.
Right.
I'm just being a pain in the butt with my hand, but I'm using grips to get it done, right? And that's where the t-shirt, we go into the hoodie like, holy crap, right?
Yeah, you get some extra slack in that.
Yeah.
So maybe John Donahue's got this all figured out with wearing his rash guards, right? John, man, you've been doing this right for years, dude. I made fun of you, but I'm gonna start wearing rash guards.
It's hard to grip a rash guard. He needs to wear sleeveless ones though. He needs to be like that.
Take it one. Because
you can still get a good elbow grip on a rash guard, right? But the back's gonna be
I'm gonna one up you, John. I'm gonna one up you.
But these are great because now we're getting back into like now I can
like
pull the sleeve grips. I can push on the back of the elbow. We talked about in the class today, right? I'm manipulating the wrist, the elbow, the shoulder, and the hip most of the time, right?
Yeah.
So that's just all I'm finding is those grips. Boom, right? Pushing, posting. I could be striking into here, right? If you try to turn back through, I'm pulling this across your body. Now like I have grips here and I can start to ragdoll you and push you over that way. And none of it's fancy. I'm not trying to do baseball bat chokes or anything like that. I'm just ragdolling you.
I think one of the best things too that I kind of notice with a lot of people is like if you're going with a big guy and I'm trying to get this far hip and I just can't grab this
all day,
and I can get a good pull and maybe that pulls me enough to where I can, you know, lock this, or now I can transition to that hip.
And you climb like a rope. We talk about that all the time. It's just this gets me to the next grip, gets me to the next grip. And that's huge. And that was with a t-shirt on. A lot of people we'll talk about like, oh, but the t-shirt's gonna rip and that type of stuff.
And it's still good.
We have done some aggressive freaking training.
How well they hold up.
And you can hold it. But you just need to know how to make tension out of it.
Yeah.
Right? And that's fine. But what's nice about hoodies, jackets, flannels, things like that is they are naturally thicker.
Right.
So 100%, like if I reach around instead of grabbing your hip here and I grab onto the material and now I pull right around you, I'm creating all of this tension from here to here.
And now the grip's way back here for me to even fight.
Yeah, right? And now you have all of this that's getting locked into it. We start talking about like, you know, somebody wants to punch you, even dumb stuff like this. But again, it's not fancy. I'm not doing, oh, well, hold on, let me go, you know, magic secret technique where I snap it down that way. It's like, no. I reached out, I had a grip, and then I just kind of pull it down the arm.
Yeah, and
right?
if I pull back naturally, I'm gonna do it to myself.
And we get into those things. But hoods, awesome. He looks up, post him out again. Ragdoll him forward. Right? Now I can start like reaching underneath, grabbing hoods, and now I have an outside control position and
now
a
you can do your
position.
baseball chokes.
Yeah, and again, listen, I'm not ragdolling on the fact that those chokes are there and they're effective. My problem is anytime anybody talks about offensively going to shirts, they have a tendency to go straight to the fancy stuff. Yeah. When if I do this stuff right, I never need the fancy stuff. Yeah. And if you're like, again, I'm not saying that's the way it is, but if you're just having a bad day and I'm like, man, I really don't, and you start, and all it is punches, I'm not going to choking you out.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, sure, can you, and could you justify it? And like, do I think it's justified? Sure. Like somebody tries to fight you, choke them out. I don't care.
Running away is also a good thing out of it too.
Right.
If I can't see you.
In this, like, same exact thing. Like, I'm here and I'm holding on and I just like drag you this way.
Right.
Right. And put you on the floor. And now I'm just like, bro, chill out.
Yeah.
Right. And all I'm doing is pulling you into the ground, posting you into the ground by your things, making it harder for you to get up. Like, chill out. Yeah. Now, he doesn't chill out. I still have access to all of this now. Yeah. Right? And then I can start to do that because I control the position. But it's like, man, like, ragdoll people, just pull them around, push them around, all that type of stuff. So I like to keep it aggressive and simple about my posting. So zeros and ones, push, pull, up, down, side to side. The more I do that to affect your spine and your head, the better. So if I can take the hood, I can take the lapel of the jacket, all that type of stuff, and manipulate your spine, awesome. If I need to shut your arms down, weapons, all that type of stuff, now I have grips to hold on to, way easier to deal with. I can really start snapping people and dragging them into the floor. Right? Grabbing onto even like the pockets, like we talked about this, but like even being able to reach in and grab material on a pocket gives me a stronger grip on the outside if you're not wearing a belt, right? Wearing like sweatpants, leggings. Well, if I don't feel comfortable grabbing into here, like grab material on the fucking pant leg. I had a guy, I told somebody the other day, we were doing kickboxing, but we were allowed to do takedowns. And we were doing it kind of like street fighting kickboxing.
It's kind of kickboxing.
Yeah, kind of. But none of us have shorts on. But imagine I have shorts on, right?
Right.
And so I got here, for the audience, spin this way a little bit.
Right.
And all I did was grab inside of his shorts here and went like this and fucking threw him on his head. Yeah. By grabbing inside of his shorts, pulling them up through his crotch and essentially doing like a weird high crotch at that point. But it's like, it's not fancy. Yeah. All I did was grab things and pull on it, post on it. So I think a lot of problems in training could be resolved so quickly through this. It's big, it's aggressive, it can be done under stress, it can be applied in a lot of different circumstances, and it doesn't require specific grips. And so to me, that's how we approach that.
Yeah. So there you have it. Gi Jiu Jitsu, better for self-defense.
It's
See you next time.
Yeah,